I wanted to give you the update on all of my thoughts for September's reads.
Oh, he sparked me, done it?
Yes, we've just hit day 4 of Caraval. I don't actually know how I feel about this book.
Hi guys, I wanted to just start with a quick wrap up / establishing where we are in the reading order for September's TBR. So this is September's TBR vlog of me reading all the books. So this month's TBR is 7, maybe 8 books long. I'm trying to think now. I can't use my phone because it's on, I'm recording on my phone. But let's have a quick look at my Kindle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 2 more in there. I can see 5. There's definitely 2 more in there somewhere, and I can't think at this very second what they are, but they're on the list. Anyway, so I wanted to just touch base with you on what I've already got completed and my quick thoughts on them, because obviously I'll do my wrap-up video and you'll get all my thoughts there, but I also wanted to give you my thoughts so far on the books I've read. So we are on the 16th of September, so we're pretty much halfway through the month, and we've got 1, 2, oh my god, is it only 2? I think we've got 2 books done so far in September. I think that's it. I finished A Curse for True Love. I finished Wild Love. Oh my god, I've really not finished anything else. Jeez. I'm 11% into Yours Truly and not loving it. I'm 3% into One Dark Window. And I picked up Caraval as well, didn't I? I don't know what percentage I'm into Caraval because I'm reading it in physical copy. That was one of the other books. I'm on page like 60 or 70 something. So I'm going to assume from the size of the book that that's going to be like 12-15% maybe. I'm again probably like 6 or 7% in the way to Blade Breaker as well. It's really not been a strong it's not been a strong reading month so far. Part of the reason for this is the first week of September was spent in Malta. So if you haven't already, or it's not out yet, no, actually the Malta vlog will be out by now. If you haven't already, go watch the Malta vlog because it's such a fun vlog. But I was in Malta for the first week of September and I really thought I'd get a lot more reading done than I did. But we ended up like on excursions, like self-planned excursions for like 9 or 10 hours a day, most days. And if we weren't on an excursion for the day, we were at a beach club and it was just kind of hard to read there because 1, it was so hot. 2, I was in and out of a pool, so I was constantly wet and like I just don't like touching things when I'm like dripping wet. And 3, because it was so warm, I was napping a lot. So I didn't actually end up picking up my books too much. I did start Caraval, how do you say it? I started that on the boat trip, which was on the Wednesday. So that must have been like the 4th of September I started Caraval. I started Wild Love. I think I switched to Wild Love on the plane because I was reading Yours Truly on the plane there. That's on the 31st of August. I started that then and I just wasn't loving it and haven't picked it up since. Like, I'm not clicking with the characters. I heard it's such a good romance, so I'm like, I need to probably try and at least push to 50% before I DNF, but I'm really not clicking with them. I think I'm just really not clicking with romance at the moment, and that's my issue. However, I switched to Wild Love on the 31st, and I finished that now. So it took me like 2 weeks, but for like a billionaire countryside, like American countryside or like Canadian countryside book, it was good. It was like, it was what it was kind of thing. The grammar and punctuation in it was questionable at times. I don't think it was proofread very well. At least that's what I think, unless I was reading it wrong. I think a fair few times there were like punctuation and like grammatical errors, and that always takes me out of a story and that always plummets it down my list, because if you're gonna publish a book, I beg you proofread it, like a basic requirement for me. But I think I gave it like a 3.25. I think I gave it a 3.25 stars, Wild Love. But yeah, I finished that in about 2 weeks. For a billionaire romance, it did the job. I quite liked Ford. I quite liked, oh my god, what's her name? Rosalie. I quite liked her. I quite liked Cora as well. If you haven't read Wild Love, these are just the main characters in the book. I quite enjoyed their characters. So overall, I really didn't mind Wild Love. It was quite a good read. I'm very excited to pick up Blade Breaker again, but I know it's going to be a very focused read. So I'm like nervous to start it because one, I know it's going to grip me and I'm going to love it because I'm already established in the world and I already love the characters. Two, Meg, my best friend, you probably know Meg by now if you watch a lot of my videos. She has finished, she's finished Blade Breaker and she finished it right next to me on the plane. And the gasps and the faces she made is making me very nervous to read this book because I do and don't want to know what is coming next. But also I downloaded Fate Breaker because we realised whilst we were away that Fate Breaker was like 99p or like 1.99 on Kindle, something like that. So I downloaded Fate Breaker to my my Kindle because also it's only in a hardback right now, at least in like Waterstones and things in my area. I've only seen Fate Breaker in a hardback and in the large size, and I've got the other two in a paperback in like the regular size. So I don't want to get it in like not the same format. So I'm going to hold off on buying the physical. Also, because I'm moving countries, I've just decided physicals are a no-go for me anymore. I will borrow them, or if I see them in like a charity shop or something, I'll get them. Or if they're like on a really good deal on Amazon, I'll get them because I can leave them at my parents' house. However, I love rereading my favourite books and I know this is going to be a favourite series. So if I have at least one of them on Kindle, I won't feel so bad buying the other two on Kindle, but also I can then wait until Fate Breaker's physical is in a paperback in the regular size to pick it up. But that is where I am with Blade Breaker. I love Victoria Aveyard, honestly, so much. I love her TikToks. I've said it before, but if you don't watch her TikToks, they're so good. We had book club this morning, and in book club we decided, because Starling House was like a bit of a hit and miss for the group, we've decided to park One Dark Window. However, I'm gonna still read it because it's on September's TBR, and we decided to pick up Book Lovers instead for our next book club read because no one had actually really started One Dark Window. I'm only like 3% in, and that's like the first 5 pages, so that's not a problem at all. So we're going to pick up Book Lovers, which I picked up this morning for like 99p on Kindle again. So I'm very excited about that. It just says, one summer, 2 rivals, a plot twist they didn't see coming. And that means I'm going to read 2 Emily Henry books in September because Happy Place is also on my TBR. So that's very interesting. We're going to see if we love Emily Henry world, if we like her writing style. I'm kind of concerned she's going to be a bit of a Colleen Hoover for me. And I really don't want that to happen because everyone loves Emily Henry and I love loving books that everyone else loves. I just haven't had a good time of it recently with loving books everyone else has loved. So I'm hopeful that Emily Henry is going to hit the spot for me and I'm going to really enjoy Book Lovers. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, A Curse for True Love. I finished that, loved it. I really like Stephanie Garber's writing style. I really like her characters. I really liked the world. It's such an abstract read for me and like my general preference for reading. These kind of like fantastical, like whimsical fairy tale worlds aren't my favourite. I think it's why I struggled with the Cruel Prince series quite a bit. I did finish Cruel Prince's series by Holly Black. I do feel like there's novellas out, but I haven't read those. So the main trilogy, I did finish that. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. However, not my favourite. Like, not my favourite style of fantasy world. I much prefer, like, realism in the sense that, like, vampires are bad and they're scary and magic is this welded thing that's, like, all across the world, like, whatever. That's just how I prefer my fantasy. So the, like, whimsical fairy tale style fantasy isn't something I normally pick up as like my first choice, but we're gonna see if the rest of Stephanie Garber's world is just as fun. I have realized we've met some characters before in Once Upon a Broken Heart series that is in Caraval, and I think Caraval came first, so I'm hoping that now I'm reading Caraval second, it's not going to spoil it because I've already read not A Curse for True Love. I've already read the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, so I'm hoping it's not going to spoil it, but we'll see. Oh, completely random, but I haven't shown you my Kindle cover. Hopefully it picks up well because we are on my phone and it might come up backwards, but we've got an advanced potion making book. We've got Fire Breathing Bitch Queen from TOG. We've got, what actually have we got? To Whatever End. Oh, is my phone falling? Potentially. To Whatever End. We've got just like some greenery. We've got A History of Magic here. We've got Felix Felicis. We've got The World Will Be Saved and Remade by the Dreamers. We've got Assassin's Blade all the way through to Kingdom of Ash, although I'm a fraud because I haven't actually read Assassin's Blade yet. We've got Harry's #1 undesirable Quibbler poster or like magazine. We've got Harry's letter from Hogwarts. Dropped my Kindle. And there's another potion behind here, but I can't remember what it was. I think it's oh my god, what's the one where you shift characters? Oh my god, Polyjuice Potion. I've got a Polyjuice Potion behind here, but it's like fallen. So I need to get in there and rearrange. However, that's not a right now's issue. Although saying that, all of my things look a bit strange. So maybe I do need to get in there. Oh my god, don't say I've got water in there. Anyway, that's not right now's problem. I'm talking to you. But yeah, this is my little update. I don't think I've read anything else right now. I've literally only finished 2 books, which is crazy. So maybe this book needs to be finished like my TBR in a couple days because I really don't have that long. But today's a Monday, so today feels like a really good day to like pick up and like get through a few books. So I'm going to be filming with you today, just like a few snippets of me reading and talking about what I'm reading. And I think this vlog will be filmed over a course of like September rather than just today. So you'll get a few updates from me on how I'm feeling about books and things like that. And yeah, I think that's it for right now. I don't think I have anything else for you to update on. But I'm excited to pick up One Dark Window and Book Lovers. I think those are going to be my next ones. I'll keep trying to push through with yours truly, but I think it's going to have to be like I read 5 chapters, I put it down, I read 5 chapters, I put it down. And I also might get to Blade Breaker today because I did bring it to Sam's house with me. So we might as well pick up a few pages on this. Maybe I'll aim for like 50 pages of each today, because that seems really achievable, like 150 pages today. Because I also need to get some like regular work done for all of my other coaching stuff and my Instagram and things like that. So there's a lot to do, but I'm very excited to read this one and let's get going. We are gonna just get ready for the day. We need to do a little bit of reading. We need to edit the Malta vlog. Some skincare definitely is needed. Like we need to do hair as well. And then we are spending the afternoon with my best friends and we are going to be watching football and boxing and any other boy sport that is possibly being shown tonight whilst drinking some cocktails, some wine and hanging out. So I will take you along with that for sure. We do need to go to the shop and pick up some drinks as well. So I thought I'd just bring you along for a very chill working Saturday / enjoyment Saturday, and I thought we could hang out together. So let's get started with tidying my bed and a little bit of reading. We're probably only going to do like half an hour of reading because I really need to get this vlog finalised because it's going live tomorrow. Not this vlog, the Malta vlog. So much editing has already been done, but I only just finished the full rough cut because it's like 45 minutes long. Anyway, let's make the bed and get going.
There you go.
Oh!
Oh, he sparked me, done it! That's it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! Oh shit! He done it!
That's it. What a guy. Sparked him.
Oh my god, that was full frontal sparked.
It is Monday morning. No, that's not correct. Monday evening. Trying to get my words out here. I've literally I've turned on my camera in order to film it. I've just finished Book Lovers, which is the book club read for this month, which is September's read. And I don't actually know how I feel about this book. I definitely did enjoy it. It's taken me 3 weeks. No, that's not correct. My brain is clearly not working. I'm getting sick, so we're not optimally thriving. I started it on the 16th of September. It is currently the 23rd, so just over a week and a bit. I've just changed it to red. We're going to add my review together because I honestly don't know what I think of this right this second, so it's just going to come to me. So it's fairly lighthearted. It's kind of inspiring. It's quite emotional. Yeah, I'd say those ones. Inspiring, lighthearted, emotional. And by inspiring, I just mean it's a love story kind of thing. How would you rate the pace of the book? Medium. Is it plot or character driven? It's definitely character driven. Strong character development. I always put it's complicated because I feel like you can never say all of the characters are fully developed. Did you find the characters lovable? Yes. Would you say the cast is diverse? No. Are the flaws of the main characters a main focus of the book? Yes. Okay, here's my rating. I think it's going for a 3.5 is my immediate what I put down. 3.5 is what I'm giving it. I might come back and change this because, when you just have thoughts after the fact, it might be one of those books where I have thoughts after the fact. However, for how many pages was this book? 373 pages. It's not my favourite book of all time. It's probably not one I'd pick up again anytime soon. So it's not getting into my 4-star, because my 4 stars essentially just have to be rereadable and love them. If anything gets a 5-star, it's I will always pick up this book again. I will always recommend this book. I love this book. So 3.5 for me is like it was a great read. I don't necessarily think I'd pick it up again. However, I might still recommend it to someone else. I probably would recommend Book Lovers to someone else if you've never read an Emily Henry before, like I haven't. I feel like it's going to be a good entry into her reading. It wasn't like spectacular, but I don't think romance novels for me are ever really gonna be super spectacular. There will be some like Pride and Prejudice, which for me is a 5-star because of the way these people love each other and the way we find out they love each other, like all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I feel like 3.5 is solid for book lovers. I just don't think any romance for me, any contemporary romance will hit 5 stars. If you have any suggestions for books that are going to hit 5 stars in the romance category, please leave them in the comments because I would love to read them. But yeah, it was all right. I did guess how it was going to end, which is absolutely fine because most romance, I feel like most people do. I didn't guess what the trouble portion was going to be. So we follow like the 2 sisters in this story, and the trouble revolves around the 2 sisters. And what I thought the trouble was going to be and what the author was alluding to obviously wasn't what it was in my brain. So I don't know that anyone would have guessed that, to be honest. But I'm like quite glad that it wasn't super cliche, if you see what I mean. It was a bit of like is that really it? Kind of thing. Is that where we've chosen to go with the trouble? However, I can't complain too much. I enjoyed it as a whole, and yeah, I'm excited to see what the girls think of this for the book club. So we'll be reviewing it next month. Actually, it might be next week. Oh, the 7th of October. So we've got 2 more weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks today. We'll be reviewing it for book club. So that's very interesting. Huh. I'm excited to see what they think. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I think I'm going to pick up Caraval or Blade Breaker straight away because the rest of the evening is dedicated to reading. So you'll probably see me again in a couple of minutes talking about my thoughts on those books. But I thought I'd just update you on finishing Book Lovers and my thoughts. Yeah, I've got a YouTube like cafe, rainy sounds, autumn vibe YouTube video on right now that just like kind of exists in the background. But yeah, that is my evening. That is my Monday evening and its plans. We'll see. We'll see what we think carrying on into Caraval and Blade Breaker. See how far we get into them. I'll update you on where I finish my reading positions. But we have so many books to crack into. It's the 23rd of the month. I think I've got 7 days left to the dot. I think it's just the 30th of September. We just looked. Yeah, the 30th of September is the final day of September. So I've got 7 days on the dot to finish. This is my 3rd book of the month. Oh, God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got to start and finish 4 books, and I've got to finish 2 other books. We're averaging a book a day. Let's go. Oh my God. Okay, hi everyone. So we are 220 pages now into Caraval. I'm enjoying it so far. It's really good. I think I'm going to read the rest of the series, but I don't know when. Yes, we've just hit day 4 of Caraval, and a lot has been happening, but like not too much at the same time. I think we've just made a big discovery, and yeah, I'm excited to see how this ends, to be honest, because I don't think it's going to end, from knowing that there's like a few more books in the series. So yeah, I'm honestly quite confused on how it's actually going to end, but I'm excited to see, because I'm really enjoying Scarlett's character. I'm really enjoying the other characters. And yeah, not too much to say, to be honest, because I don't want to spoil it at this point, but we are on day 4 of the event that she is going to. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that one, to be honest. So we're going to try and crack through the rest of this in the next few hours, and then pick up Blade Breaker before work tonight. So a lot of reading needs to be done. I will be exclusively reading for the rest of the day. I need to get some stuff done on my laptop, but that might just have to be done after I finish my shift tonight. It's one of those days. We have 5 days left, I think, to finish the TBR. So a lot needs to be done. A lot needs to be done. And I'm sick, if you can't already tell. I'm really not feeling great. So the most I have energy for is lying down and reading. But I will not talk at you too much because I sound nasally and asthmatic as anything. So let's read. Okay, so we're back. This is part of the vlog, September's reading vlog. It is now the 2nd of October, but I wanted to catch up with you because I really didn't actually get around to filming that much of my September reads, because I didn't read that much in September. This is for a few reasons. So we spent the first week of September in Malta. I thought I was going to read a lot more than I did. I only ended up finishing A Curse of True Love, starting Caraval, starting Yours Truly, and that was about it. Actually, Wild Love as well. I started Wild Love. So I was reading about 4 books simultaneously at that time, and I didn't actually finish any on holiday. I don't think. Was I also reading Blade Breaker? No, I had Blade Breaker at home. I might have brought the physical. No, I brought the physical of Caraval because it was skinnier, and I left Blade Breaker at home to finish when I got home, which also didn't end up happening. However, I wanted to give you the update on all of my thoughts for September's reads, because I've made the executive decision to not make a September TBR video and just include it in September's vlog so that you can know my thoughts and see what I read as I read them. Let's begin with our first read, which was A Curse for True Love. I really don't know whether I spoke about A Curse for True Love in depth at any other point in this vlog, so I'm just going to recoup what I did think about it. I really enjoyed it. I think I rated it a 4.5 star. It was so fun. It was like a bit ambitious of a storyline. It was whimsical and fun and like fairy-like without actually having fairies in it. At least I don't think it had fairies in it. I loved our main characters. I loved the plot line. Like, I really just liked A Curse for True Love, and I really liked the world. So I'm very excited to be continuing with Stephanie Garber's world. I still don't know, and I haven't Googled, and I probably should Google by this point, whether Caraval and like the Caraval series comes before or after A Curse for True Love, like, series. I mean, Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I'm going to assume that it does. I'm going to assume that Caraval was first because of some of the characters we see in Caraval. However, that's okay, because hopefully the storyline isn't going to like cross over and like become confusing or like spoiled, if you know what I mean. So I really enjoyed it. It was super fun. Jax as the character and Evangeline as the characters, like our main 2 characters, were just like easy to read, easy to empathize with. You wanted to know like what was going on with them. I wanted to catch up and like see what was happening, and if we were with another character in another point of view, I was happy enough to be in that character's point of view, but was looking forward to getting back to like Evangeline's point of view and stuff. So yeah, it was just a really fun, enjoyable series, and it's made me look forward to reading more of Stephanie Garber's work. And yeah, that is pretty much my thoughts on A Curse of True Love, because I don't want this to be miles and miles long. But moving on to, as I've just mentioned, Caraval. I think that was the 3rd book I finished, but because we're in the same world, I'm just going to continue it. So, no, 4th book I finished. Yes, 4th book I finished. Caraval was so fun. I ended up reading it when I actually picked it up the second time, because I picked it up the first day. The first day I picked it up was the middle of holiday, so like we were busy and things were going on the rest of the time. And then by the time I got home and picked it up again, that was when I was really invested in reading it. So if I look at my story graph, I started reading it the 4th of September. I got up to 16% on the 4th of September. I then picked it up again on the 23rd of September. I got 29%. 24th of September, 54%. And by the 25th of September, I'd finished it. So it took about 4 days of actually picking up the book to finish it. And it's really not that long either. How long is it? I've got it here. 300 and... No, 400. 405 pages for Caraval. And I really enjoyed pretty much every one of them. I was very emotionally invested in our characters, our main characters. Good lord, what are their names? What are their names? Scarlet and... It was literally said half of the book. What was it? Tella. Scarlet and Donatella. So, we follow Scarlet and Donatella and their journey to Caraval. And it's just a really fun story. Like, it's a bit of a mystery. It's quite intriguing. There's some twists and turns in the plot. We follow another person, one of the main characters. His name is... Why did Simon just come into my brain? That is so rogue. Julian. Yeah, Julian. Simon, where did that come from? Yeah, and then we follow Julian's character as well, but just from the perspective of Scarlet, because this whole story is told from the perspective of one of the sisters, which is Scarlet. And she essentially writes letters to the master of the Caraval, the carnival, the theatre, whatever, and begs him to bring the Caraval to their island of Trisda, where they live with their father. And he is a very many names of mean things that I'd like to call him, but refrain because I will get demonetized on YouTube. So he is a downright scoundrel of a man, and I wanted to punch him in the face the whole time. But yeah, the girls want to go to Caraval. Their dad is not a very nice person, so Julian escorts them there instead. And that is where the twists and turns of Caraval take place. And we get this exciting adventure of trying to reconcile things and sort out the mystery. I don't want to say much more than that because I don't want to spoil it. I'm still trying to learn how to talk about books without spoiling them and spoiling the characters and like spoiling the plot. I don't know how far in is like acceptable to talk about. Is it 10%? Is it 15%? And then I have to work out what that is in the story. Anyway. Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked how it ended. I was quite satisfied with the ending. I thought something like similar was going to happen, but I wasn't completely dead on, which I always love because I like to have that kind of element of predictability. So I'm right because I love being right, but also surprise enough and like change enough from my theory that it's still fun and like guessing doesn't always get the right answer. So that was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm very much looking forward to reading Legendary and Finale, I think is how you say it. Yeah, Finale. I think it's not just final. Finale. So yeah, that was Caraval. It was really fun and I would definitely recommend it if you've never read the series. It was huge in lockdown, so I feel like a lot of people have probably already read it. Might be time for a reread if you want to. But if you haven't read it, I would definitely recommend it. On to what was next? Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This book was very interesting. It was a cowboy romance. Am I getting them confused? I think it was a cowboy romance. No, billionaire romance. Billionaire romance. What am I talking about? It was in cowboy land, but it was a billionaire romance. I really liked our two characters. I can't be bothered to go find their names. It's not relevant, really. But our two characters, the billionaire guy and the lovely girl, I really liked their dynamic. I liked the way they interacted with each other throughout the story. I liked that Cora, the only person whose name I remember is Cora, that's hilarious. I really liked Cora's character and how she was kind of incorporated into the storyline. Essentially, we follow billionaire boy finds out he's a dad, essentially. And that shouldn't be a spoiler because that should be on the back of the story. I will double check that though. Finds out he's a dad. Cora turns up on his doorstep. Hi, I'm your baby. I kind of need some help. Shut up and help me. And she's like really sassy and moody. And she's just like a classic teenage girl. And I really love her. And main girl's name, can't think of it right this second. She is super funny, she's quite witty, she's like very sure of herself, even though she's just had this like big confidence knock, moving away from the city, moving away from her life with her boyfriend, not sure what she wants, and the brother's best friend is there to kind of pick up the pieces for her and like help her along the way. So it's just, yeah, it's a really nice, like, it's set in cowboy land. So it's got like, in my head, it's got elements of like country and stuff. I say cowboy land, I'm pretty sure it's in Canada. Do Canada have cowboys? I don't know if that's factually correct. Anyway, in my head, it's in cowboy land. A really fun, like, not serious billionaire romance that doesn't have like the super controlling, like, bitch of a bad boy, annoying trope. It's like he's actually quite a good guy and he just wants to help and he's learning how to be a dad. And it was just, yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely not the best book I've ever read. Definitely not the worst. It couldn't really feature in one of my top categories, like my 4 and 5 star, because it didn't give it to me all the way. Like, other things that I've rated 4 star, this wouldn't come close to them, but it gave me everything I wanted it to give. So I think I gave it a 3.5 star. Let's check. 3.75, which is even better than I thought. Wild Love got a 3.75 star, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. For like what it was. It was great for what it was. Moving on, we tackled our first ever Emily Henry book. That is Book Lovers. I don't know. First published 2022. So I thought this was her most recent book, but I don't actually think it is anymore. That was just me guessing. But anyway, Book Lovers. Yeah, it was fun. It was chill. It was a cozy read for sure. Like, it was very good for a September read, I think. Although it was set in summer in the book, like, to me it felt like a winding down the summer kind of book. We were following our 2 people, Nora and Charlie. Yeah, so Nora is a literary agent. She is a shark, as they repeatedly refer to her as. She is pretty no nonsense and she goes 10 toes down for her clients always. She has a little sister called something. Why can't I remember anyone's names today? Anyway, Nora has a sister. The sister asks her to go to Sunshine Falls with her to do kind of like a last ditch save the summer kind of scenario, and Nora agrees because she's worried that there's something wrong with her sister because she's been very distant. She wants to connect with her sister again, so she decides to go to Sunshine Falls, which is based in the story. Sorry, the story is based in Sunshine Falls, the place they go to, for one of her clients. So one of her long-standing literary clients wrote a book based in Sunshine Falls, so they end up going there. In the first few pages of the book, we meet Charlie. Charlie is an editor for some kind of publication. He, first of all, reads the book that's set in Sunshine Falls. I can't remember what it's called, like maybe like Once Upon something. I don't know. He reads it, hates it. He is not at all amused by Sunshine Falls or the people that are in it, the town that's described, nothing. So he's very unamused with this book. And him and Nora do not get on like a house on fire. They really, really clash in the first meeting they have to discuss this book. So yeah, they part ways. And soon we rediscover Charlie in the book, as you can see, because the book is about Nora and Charlie. So yeah, it's just like a really fun romance that is a little bit unpredictable. You're trying to work out what the issue is between Nora and her sister. Like, something feels like it's being hidden, but we're not really sure what. I was a little bit disappointed by the actual thing that it was, like the reveal we have, but it kind of makes sense, and it's not like the be all and end all. It didn't ruin the book for me, but it also didn't make the book for me. It felt like something we'd been dragging along for a while, and it could have been made like something different, but it wasn't. But yeah, I don't want to go too much into it just in case I ruin it. But overall, it was like, it did what it needed to be. It did what it needed to do. I don't think romances are my top genre. I don't think they ever will be, but they are good for what I want them for, which is exactly what it is, a romance, a very easy breezy read. And Book Lovers was just that. It was an easy breezy read There wasn't anything too complicated in it. No world-altering facts. No political intrigue. Nothing like that. So if there's no gore, there's no violence, there's no one pulling a sword on another person, it's not as interesting to me. But yeah, saying that, I enjoyed it. I give it a 3.5 star, and I think that was a good rating for book lovers for me in terms of my categories, because I don't know that I'd read it again. However, I would still recommend it to someone. My 3.5s, my 3.5, 3.75, just about 4-star reads. They're in the category of like, I'd be happy to say to someone else to read this. Would I read it again myself? No, but that doesn't mean it's a bad book. Would I rave about it? Is it one of the first books that come to mind when someone asks me what to read? No, it's not one of those books. However, it's not in my like 2 and 1 star category where I'm like, not sure I'd even recommend this to someone to read. Like, it was okay, but not my thing. Or like a 1 star, basically like a DNF, or like I just about got through this thing. So my 3s are actually like higher than they sound, but yeah, I think a 3.5 in my category system is justified for book lovers. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It gave what it was supposed to give, and 3.5 I think is solid. And finally, on to yours truly. So we follow, I was about to say Abby then. The author's name is Abby. I literally just finished it this morning. How can I not remember these people's names? The funniest thing is, I will immediately remember who I'm talking about as soon as I click open the book. Jacob and I can remember Alexis's name, I can remember Daniel's name, I can remember Jewel and everyone's name. What's the main girl's name? Brianna. Okay. So we follow Brianna and Jacob, who are 2 ER doctors, emergency medicine doctors in Missouri, wherever the heck that is. We follow them on their journey. Jacob has just transferred from Memorial West Hospital in somewhere, I'm assuming also Missouri, to whatever the hospital we are currently in is called. And that is where Brianna works. So I think this is the second in a series, but I'm hoping this won't be a spoiler, because if you just read the back of the book, like, it gives you all the information. This is the second book in a series of Abby Jimenez's work, I think. Part of Your World, I think, came first, and this is the second book, but surely they should be able to read as a standalone, because there wasn't any information I was missing out on other than just like extra background context. So I think you can read them as standalone. Like, it didn't say obviously sequel or anything when I picked it up, but Alexis and Daniel, I think, were book 1, Part of Her World or Part of Your World, and then book 2 is Yours Truly, and we are following Brianna and Jacob. So they meet on a really bad foot. Jacob is having an awful day in the ER. He's losing patients left, right, and centre. Brianna has just found out that the chief guy might be potentially giving away her role, stepping in as chief when he retires. And it's essentially put across to her that she needs the competition. It needs to be fair and square. So Jacob is going to run against her for the chief position when this guy retires. She is fuming, like flying off the handle fuming, because that position is hers. All the nurses want her to have it. All the staff want her to have it. She wants to have it. And it was basically promised to her. So now he's taking it back and saying that it might not be hers. Which is crazy, because she's working hard towards it. Anyway, Jacob and Brianna bump into each other. The first encounter is really bad. She thinks he is a diabolical human being. He thinks that he is an anxious mess and he can't continue going to work and live in a place where people hate him. So yeah, that begins their story, and it's basically just a telling of how they come to be as a romantic partnership, as all romances end up being. I think this one is a 3-star for me. I quite liked Brianna's character for the most part. Some things really irritated me, especially towards the end. I just didn't really get the kind of like 180 in her personality, it felt like, but maybe that was just me misunderstanding her character. Jacob's character stressed me out. I think I said it before, like, people with anxiety in a book, I just don't love it, because as someone who has suffered with anxiety, it's not fun to read about it. It just kind of brings those emotions to me, or like reminds me of emotions that I'm trying to escape. So I really don't love reading about anxious characters, but there's not much you can do about that when you've picked up a book that you didn't read anything but the title of, and it has an anxious character in it. So We end up like following Jacob's journey with his anxiety in reference to Brianna. We kind of find out Brianna's past and things that are going on in her life with her brother and her family, and how that kind of interacts with Jacob's life. And yeah, it's just like, it's quite a chill book for like being an ER kind of like drama. There's not really much hospital stuff happening. They're kind of just there, and it's like a way for them to communicate to each other in the book. So like, don't worry about it having medical knowledge or anything like that in it. It's not. It's just basically the set of the sitcom. So yeah, I quite liked Jacob's family. They were like pretty funny and like a bit outrageous and daft. So yeah, it was a good read overall, but there were definitely parts that it lost me. Definitely parts that it threw me like hardcore out of the story, and I just like was like, whoa, what is going on? Don't love this. And then yeah, I nearly DNF'd it 11%. I think I said this to you before, so I'm just going to skim over this. I DNF'd it at 11%, saw Carrie's video, decided to pick it up again. So I finished it now, and I'm glad I finished it, but again, it's one of those ones where it's like 3-star. I could recommend this to someone. Would I? Maybe not, but like, if I knew someone was specifically into like the miscommunication trope and fake dating trope and things like that, I would recommend this book. The one bed scene, the kind of thing, like I would recommend this book. However, for me, it's just like, it's not a 3.5 or 3.75 read. It was okay, it did the job, and I probably won't read this again. But yeah, those are my thoughts on yours truly, Caraval, A Curse for True Love, and we talked about one other, Wild Love? Yeah. But that is pretty much all of my thoughts. I have a big old list for my October TBR. I think I'm going to put down a lot of the books that I didn't get to in my September reads. So that is Blade Breaker. I'm still going to finish because I'm just like slowly getting through it. It's just very dense, and I haven't had the kind of time needed to sit down and focus read like I've talked about before. A Tempest of Tea, I think I'm going to finally have to take off the TBR because it's the 3rd month in a row that I haven't got to it. Blood Over Brighthaven, I would like to pick up, but I think that's going to go on my fall, or like my autumn TBR, so that I can pick it up whenever and it doesn't have to be a specific month, because I really, really want to read that book, but it's just maybe not going to be right this second. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, I've got it in the physical copy. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so it's just going to be one of those ones that I think I pick up as and when, like, convenience happens. But I just didn't get to it this month, and I don't think I'm going to get to it next month either. So it's going to be off the list. One Dark Window, I think, is going to be next week's. We have book club next week, and I think that's maybe going to be the book we pick again. So we'll see on that one. But the first like 8%, 10% I've read has been good. So hopefully it's good. I would like to finish it. You will be seeing my end of September vlog first, and I think then my October TBR. If not, I will double release, and then I think my Magnolia Parks review will be coming out. So lots to film, lots to edit, and I will leave you here. This has been the September vlog. I'm very sorry that you didn't get to see most of September. The first week is completely all online. You can watch the Malta vlog now to see what we got up to for the first week of September. So the kind of final three and a bit weeks have just been me reading, me working, me trying to catch up with life after a holiday, and being really sick. I was so sick last week. Like, I had to go to the doctors. You can kind of still hear it in me now. Like, I'm still not 100%, but I had my podcast recording today with Jess Newman, which was so good. I love it. I'm ready to edit that and get it up for you so soon. I think that's going to be Saturday's episode, if not next Saturday's episode. This has been September's vlog. I love you guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Make sure you check out the other videos I've got on my channel. I've got some different kind of series. I've got podcasts. I've got all the kind of stuff. So if you've made it this far, definitely check out all that stuff, because you definitely are in love with me by now. Okay, I'm going. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.